This story begins in Paris, France, during World War II. At that time, German soldiers controlled the city. People in France were suffering. However, the resistance and the Free French forces fought very hard to win the city back. In a village, there were two young men, Adrien and Marco. They grew up together and were like brothers. Their parents were very close friends too. People said, "Those two are never apart. They go everywhere together." Adrien was a brave young man who loved jokes. Marco always tried to stop him, but eventually he joined the fun. When Marco was sad, Adrien was the first person to make him laugh. They were perfect friends. One day, they heard about a big fight to free Paris. The two young men wanted to join. Their parents were very worried, but the two friends did not change their minds. The night before they left, they went up a hill in Paris. They saw the city lights and many stars in the sky. Adrien said in a nervous voice, "Marco, honestly, I am scared. I am still very young. Can I survive the battle tomorrow?" Marco was silent for a moment. Then he looked at the stars. "I am scared too. But we can survive if we are together. We are fighting for our home and our families." Adrien looked at the small French flag in his hand and smiled sadly. "If I fall, please take this flag. We must win this battle." Marco grabbed Adrien's shoulder and said firmly, "No, Adrien. We will hold the flag together. Until the end. If you fall, I will pick you up. If I fall, you pick me up. That is our promise." They held hands tightly. It was a very strong promise between brothers. A few days later, they went into the battle to free Paris. There were loud gunshots and explosions everywhere. The resistance built barricades to stop the German soldiers. The air was full of smoke, and the walls were broken by bullets. Citizens watched from their windows, and the resistance fought with old guns and grenades. Adrien ran around and helped the hurt people. He was covered in sweat and dust, but he stayed with Marco and fought. The German soldiers used machine guns, and the fight was very difficult. Suddenly, the leader of the resistance was shot and fell. The flag dropped to the ground. The soldiers were confused and scared. Without a leader, they started to run back. Paris was in danger again. At that moment, Adrien picked up the flag. He shouted loudly, "If we run away, it's over. Our leader is down, but France is still with us." Marco shouted too, "Adrien is right. If we stop, we lose our home and families. Let's fight until the end." The soldiers became brave again because of the two young men. But suddenly a bullet hit Marco's chest. He fell to his knees. "Marco!" "No!" Adrien cried. Marco held Adrien's arm with his bloody hand. He looked at Adrien and said, "Adrien, remember our promise? We hold the flag together. Now, you must carry it until the end. And take care of our families." His voice was weak, but he smiled. Then he died. Adrien cried and held Marco's body. He was very sad, but he held the flag even stronger. "Marco, I will carry it for you. I will never forget your courage." The soldiers saw Marco die. They saw his last smile and his promise. They were silent for a moment, but then they became very brave. "For France," someone shouted. "For our home," another soldier shouted. Soon, everyone was shouting. The soldiers were not scared anymore. Adrien held the flag high and moved forward. The soldiers followed the flag and attacked. They fought together as one big wave. Finally, the resistance defeated the German army. The soldiers' voices were heard in every street of Paris. Later, people called Adrien a young warrior. But he always said, "The real hero was my friend Marco." Marco's name became a symbol of freedom for everyone.